What's your sign? What's your sign, baby? What's your sign? What's your sign?
Welcome to What's Your Sign? I'm Julia Loken.
I'm Stevie Goldstein.
And I'm Lisa Chanou.
And we're...
What's your sign?
What's your sign? And we're on a couch.
Yes, we're together.
In a
Where
line.
it started.
Yeah.
Physically,
Yes.
we are one.
I couldn't even think of a thing to be because it's so throwback.
You just have to be yourself. That's all.
Yes.
Always. Any of us, really.
Oh, I love that. Well, Happy New Year. baby New Year. Happy 2024. We are taking a break.
Yeah. I mean...
Going just to get into it.
Just rip it. Rip the Band-Aid.
We're taking a break. Julia's pregnant again. No, I'm just kidding.
This is still the first pregnancy. Also, if you didn't know I was pregnant, surprise. Huge announcement.
Can you imagine? This is ep 1.
They skipped the Channy ep and just checked in for this one.
You wild.
But we're coming to you in this format right now because it is a special announcement. We are going to be taking a little bit of a break. Definitely not forever, but obviously we do need to take some time off. I'm having a baby. We're having life stuff, and that's scary. We've never done that before. We've been doing this podcast for almost 6 years.
Crazy.
At this point when you're listening to us, and we have not missed a week, an episode, anything. And while it has been a wonderful joy to bring you these episodes, I think we also need a little bit of a break.
I can't believe we haven't missed a week.
I know.
That's weird. But I mean, hey, it's so fun to make this podcast, and I think that's been the joy of astrology is there's always something happening in the sky and to talk about. And I mean, yeah, I'm excited for us to get some rest and, you know, for you to have time with your new child. And thanks for everyone just for being here every Monday for 6 fucking years. That's tight.
Yes.
We have the best listeners on earth, truly.
I think also a testament to both of y'all and myself slightly, but that we were able to complete all of the episodes through 2023 despite our ticking clock here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, by the time you're watching this, we'll have another, a fourth mic, if you will.
Oh, my God.
So just know that, like, we did all of those in advance of this, and that we're just taking a little break now because that's what we were able to accomplish.
Yes.
And it seemed like a good time to take a break for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, I guess I just want to reiterate too that it's like, this is just a break. This is not a breakup. This is not a, sad, scary. There's nothing like going on. There's just life changes happening, and
just a rest.
And we want to be, again, consistent and stay consistent with you as possible. And right now, I don't know what consistent looks like. So until we do,
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like, I don't know if there's no set return, but that's when that is it'll be great. So just, there's a lot of episodes you can go back and listen to. We're going to have some re-releases coming up for the time being. Who knows? Maybe one of us will want to pop back on. I don't know. Yeah, it's loose. There's no rules. We're indie. That's what's great about being indie is we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of astrology to be learned with taking breaks. I think that's part of actually like doing this practice is, and I know that's like, I've been so grateful to have you guys because there are certain topics where I'm like, I have triggers, or like I have we have a busy week, or you have something, and you need to take a week of not looking at like what's happening next week. And so it's always nice to have other voices and other people to provide their insight. And there's a number of other astrology podcasts that you can listen to. Please listen to them. We're not like in competition with any of them. We want you to learn from as many like different resources as you have. And hopefully that means that when we come back, you have a different appreciation for like our take and our lens.
Yeah. Those are all colleagues and all people we got to meet through this podcast. So, Julia, thanks for lining up your birth with the holidays. It's very convenient. And in the beginning of the new year where we're all, coming back in. And I didn't really plan on this, but here's a quick, can we do a round robin of 2024 energy per sign? Like, I'm curious.
Oh, like what's coming for them or what?
It could be like a one word. It can be whatever. But like, we know this isn't really. Normally, we'd start the year with our 2024 forecast. Sorry, we're on a break, but we can give you a vibe
I can't
check
wait until we come back and we get to use "we were on a break."
She was on a break.
I was only guesting on that podcast.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but on a quick round
robin for
just off the dome. Gut.
Aries.
Yes, Aries. I think for 2024 is like it's the start of the next chapter. It's the start, which Aries loves the start, but it's also like it's the start of something new, I think.
North Node in Aries.
Yeah. And we're going to have those eclipses happening too. So I feel like there's going to be big changes. I don't think that means bad things. I think when you hear that, we naturally go to like scary stuff. But big changes for Aries.
You're also gonna be getting that set. I think like a Pluto sextile for those early degrees for sure, and also just kind of like energetically all the square that's been happening. Again, not to say that that's there, but I think like change in a different way. So that's exciting.
Yes, agreed. Taurus,
sweet relief.
Ooh, okay.
Sweet relief, baby.
I'll take it.
I'm only thinking of that from the eclipses, but I do think
that Jupiter Uranus isn't going to be anything at all.
Nothing at all. No, I do think where it's like it's not over, but I do think that there is a like settling or a like finding some footing.
Yeah.
I think still again Jupiter Uranus, you're right. That's big.
Well, Jupiter's going to move its ass into Gemini. Kind of like I keep thinking that Jupiter. I thought Jupiter and Taurus was going to be longer than it was, and now
I feel like Jupiter and Taurus is going to be is longer than I thought. When I was looking at I was looking at a transit for 2024, and I was like, how is it still in Taurus?
It leaves in May.
Yeah.
I think for Taurus, seek silence, seek quiet. I think there is a because it's Venus, I do think Taurus's value like partnership more than we talk about and, chatting things out and stuff like that. I think moving towards like yourself and moving towards a little bit quieter, more internal things.
Yeah. It's like positive support from Saturn and Pisces right now. So I think
some much deserved rest.
Yes.
And creativity. I mean, creative energy doesn't happen usually like in front of people.
Yeah. So. Ooh, like receiving some.
Yeah, it's like that. It's positive Saturn Pisces receptiveness. That's just receiving. Yes, that is receiving. Geminis, they're getting arrested this year. Like
Geminis.
I think this is a big party year for Geminis.
For
I
sure.
mean, they have Jupiter moving into their sun sign. Well, I mean, if we're talking about sun signs, but yeah, they have Jupiter moving in and I think they're fun and they naturally have that energy, and it's also like Jupiter's associated with the sign opposite to them, and I think they kind of like opposition. So
yeah, I think Gemini is here to has like entered the chat or whatever.
Gemini has not stopped in the chat.
Never. I know they've never stopped.
They
but
just got allowed in. Yeah.
I feel like Gemini. I was gonna say like Gemini is back. I feel like Gemini was
is
like
back.
excommunicated from that Mars transit when Mars was in Gemini. Gemini, not your fault, sun sign folks, but I do feel like Gemini energy has not really been part of the conversation for a minute, and I do feel like it's back, and like we're gonna be talking. Your energy is needed, but also like Gemini's back, baby.
Yeah, I think that Jupiter is going to, I think we're really receptive to Gemini ideas this year. So if you have a creative idea or something you want to share, I think this is a time people might actually want to hear you speak. So even though we love a Gemini, but it's true. I feel like they haven't been in the conversation in a while, which is so unlike Gemini. And I think they're going to be the talk of the town.
I feel like even in the sense of like, memes and whatever of people being like Geminis, I feel like it's been, I mean, maybe I'm following the wrong pages, but you know.
They're back.
Gemini's back, baby.
Gemini is in 2024. Cancers.
I think this is the final stretch for Cancers. I think that whatever you've been working on, I mean, because we have the Pluto Capricorn moving into Aquarius and back, and so kind of, you know, having to tie up those loose ends, like do those final things in regards to like the opposition that's happening, and kind of just getting to that finish line before things are really like smooth. And there will be moments of like, it's over, and then, you know, it goes back.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think also a time to like, with that in mind, really just lean into the sensitive stuff. I don't know if you have a choice, but I think in the sense of like, your sensitivity is needed and welcomed, and maintain that. So it's like the knowing that there is a home stretch, it can let it out a little bit more, I think.
I feel like Cancers have like no excuse this year. Like it's almost like the avenue is open. So just be cardinal water. Like do same sort of with Gemini. It's like come back into the conversation, like lead and take the charge. There's nothing that feels really prohibitive to them this year. So it's like, don't make excuses. Just give something a shot.
I'm going to go ahead and also say that I think that is also could be our blanket umbrella for 2024 energy for all signs too, of like being authentically yourself, and also like just go for it. Just try experiment.
There's a lot of experimental energy, especially when Jupiter goes into Gemini. I think that is like, try it. Find out if you like it. I think that's like the mutable lesson we're in, is just like, I don't know, experience it and then report back. What sign comes after
Leo?
I'm just kidding. Leos. What are Leos up to? Well, now they're gonna have Pluto
the Pluto opposition.
Yeah, for suns,
I think there's a bunch of like, I wish I had my calendar out. I think there's a bunch of stuff happening in Leo Virgo season. I think we're gonna have a busy summer, similar to like maybe this year a little bit with travel season like extending a little bit longer than normal, and just people being busy throughout the summer. But I also think Leo likes that. There is that Jupiter square halfway through the year. I feel like there's like half and half energy for Leo, because it's Pluto's somewhat opposition, and then it's not, and then Jupiter's somewhat square, and then it's not. So I don't know. I do get like a little. Maybe you'll be digging into like some Gemini energy with Jupiter and stuff this year. A little bit of both.
There's two phrases that came to mind. One is like leading by example, and the other is like grace under pressure. Because I do think it will. I don't know. I just get the sense from that square, from the Pluto opposition, that Leo energy, so to speak, is a little bit on the chopping block. Like not like bad, or that it's going away, but there's gonna, I think, feel whenever there's an opposition, because it's far away, it feels like, oh, is my energy still valued? Is my energy still needed here? Important? Can it be recognized when we're going to be focusing so much on the opposite? And I think that showing how to like still shine and love yourself and be the most you kind of throughout that opposition, even if it's without some of the recognition that you might know that that's like, this is your time to kind of draw on those internal reservoirs and show us how it's done. Even without maybe some of the, I get like applause.
Yeah, I think Leo's with the Pluto check-in, it's going to be like your old shiny tricks might look a little dull, so you might need to like refresh what used to impress people if it feels like a bit like this is the song and dance I do that people like, and it's like we've seen it.
Dust off the old playbook.
Yeah, like
get some new plays going.
Yes.
Totally.
Sorry, I'm just gonna.
Oh, please.
Fixing a hair during the Leo section. I think that's correct.
Please help me. Speaking of help,
Virgo. I think
deep breath.
There's a bunch of transits happening during Virgo season.
Yes. Well, and I'm just thinking again about I'm projecting, of course, this Neptune square that we've been having, which will mercifully, ease up or will be exiting soon enough. But also I think it is that same kind of opposition where it's like, I don't think there's a and then a square from Jupiter and Gemini. When that's there, I think that it is going to be a little bit of like keeping your head down, similar to the Leo message of like staying internal, keeping your head down and just focusing on what's working. Because there's a lot of distraction opportunity, and
there's a Saturn opposition too.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it is lessons. And I think it is like, probably like around your birthday time, so sorry about that. But I also, again, this is one where it's like they kind of like lessons, like they're kind of really good at structure and boundary stuff. So I do think that some of that opposition, creating alignment and creating like a path for you to know where you want to go, or opening a door or whatever. And it's like when you have to move and you're like, oh my God, I have to pack all these boxes, but it's like, but you get a new house, like so eye on the prize kind of thing.
Creating new systems, experimenting within those and figuring out how to make them more efficient, and remembering that that's the frustration of that leads to working systems.
I feel like where Cancer has no excuse, Virgo does have every excuse to, give up and quit. But I think this is like this Saturn opposition feels like getting unafraid of the things that you might have unnecessary reservations or anxiety around. Like if it's just been an excuse or a roadblock that of your own self-imposed, it's like, is this actually that scary? I think this is a great time to get out of Virgos should get out of their comfort zone, but I totally get if you don't want to, because it is hard right now. So
allowed to be a little messy, allowed to not have it all together in the name of experimentation and figuring out what is the next together. Libras. I think Libra, it's a similar one to Leo.
I hope they're okay.
No,
I mean, South Node is like, who am I?
Yeah, I think it's a similar one where it is like your skills, the things that you find the most kind of like Libra things might not be what the doctor is ordering right now. But that doesn't mean that you aren't important and necessary, and that your skills aren't still your skills and valuable. I think it is about remembering that, again, balance isn't like the same. It's what's needing to be compensated for on the other side. So I think it is like really a time to let people like be what they need to be, instead of trying to like keep us all getting along or whatever. It's I think letting people have some space to be different and, I don't know, not separate, but
I actually think that the Libra's South Node isn't going to be quite the same that we had with Scorpio. I find that because they're getting aid from Jupiter and Gemini this time, at least the second half of the year, some of that South Node stuff's actually going to be getting aided, or like, some of that stuff
maybe welcomed.
It's trine, so it's like positive energy coming that way. So I think there is support. That doesn't mean it's not going to like shakeups aren't going to happen.
Yeah.
But it is also about like, South Nodes are kind of those patterns and the things that you like already know how to do. And so sometimes like breaking a pattern you already know is bad is like a little bit easier than like starting a whole new path. So we'll
Fair.
see.
That's a good point, because you are going to be getting also a little bit of that support from Pluto too. It's not moving fast, obviously, so it's really only early degrees. But I think, again, energetically speaking, with the like air trine of it all, that makes sense.
I mean, again, for Libras, I don't think they're the type of people that are like, give me challenge. Like,
Yeah.
So I think it might be hard, but still, you know.
I guess it also, to me, is like an invitation to maybe be like, I don't know, not self-deprecating, but that like what you're saying of like,
I think they
on
can
this
just be
thing-
selfish.
Yeah, be selfish, or also go like, I'm the one that needs to change in this dynamic or in the whatever. I can change the pattern.
Self-focused.
Yes, that sort of thing of going like, if it's a habit that you know you need to break, go ahead and do it, and be the cardinal. Let the cardinal be that.
I think they're just ready to shed this old expectations that people have from them, or things that, you know, it's very like when people tell you who they are, believe them. And I think Libras are learning it hard. And I think not only about other people, but yeah, back to what you both are saying about themselves. Like, oh, it is, you're part of this equation of why patterns go on as well. So it's not all bad. I think I love all this air support, because it feels like, I think we all want, we all need that.
We've needed intellect and logic for the last like 4 years.
Yes.
You know, like we've
Yes.
needed it, and all we like had was during COVID people using it to like create medicine and stuff, which needed, but like we need it more in our person to person daily life contact, work meetings, conversations, all of those types of things.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Scorpio.
Those
Scorpio.
fuckers.
Scorpio. I feel like, I guess similar to Taurus in the like a little bit of a landing, but I also feel like this is a coming out emergence of Scorpio as well from this kind of south node. It's time to put yourself back out there a little bit, I feel like.
I think because it's trine Saturn instead of sextiling too. Again, this depends on degrees, and it's not going to be exact, so you have to look at your natal chart and stuff. But I think you're going to get a little bit bigger of a benefit. It's going to feel a little bit easier. Things are going to flow to you a little bit like more simply, at least those Saturn things. And so I think it is like a going back to work after you've taken some sick time or vacation time or whatever it is, and actually having people go like, oh, I actually handled that for you, or like, you know, a little bit more juice than Taurus.
I think also with the square from Pluto, it is a little like, you've transformed enough. Like that you could
Enough.
There is only not so much. It's because it's, you know, through the rest of your lifetime you can also be transforming too. But in this iteration, in this cycle, like it is time to kind of get back going, and like, what are the things that we're keeping? What are the things that we're not changing? What are we building around? And because I think that if you want to, you could go into a hole and transform for the rest of your life and be just as happy as being out in the world. But also we need some Scorpio energy out in the world too, helping us do the same, or telling us, you know, regaling us with your tales from the shadowy underworld. You know, so we can use them as well for those who aren't as able to go to those depths, perhaps.
Yeah, I feel like they're open to connection this year. I think maybe where the South Node eclipses had them being like, I don't fucking trust any of you assholes. Like, I think there's a little relief, hopefully, coming for Scorpios. And I think since it is that Saturn water flow to our water Scorpios, that hopefully then it's lasting connections too, or feeling safe. Like, I think Saturn is where we're asked to grow and mature and do things for real. So I hope those watery emotional connections are the things that come for Scorpio if they've been feeling a little like, you know, just like, fuck this world, which I know is like Scorpio's default setting, but I think it was like extra with the eclipses the last year and some change. So I hope they get some like just good bonds, you know. I like something that's really like strengthened and solid for the Scorpios, because they deserve it. Sagittarius.
I mean,
Sag is scary ass.
Sad.
I know. I'm like, it's coming. It's coming.
Sad.
fast.
No, I'm like, what are
It's not
Sagittarius up to? I'm
They
like,
just have the Jupiter opposition.
Yeah,
really.
Jupiter
Yeah.
opposition. Well, and I think then Jupiter opposition, Saturn square. We've been having the
well, the mutables are all. It's mutable
Neptune.
check-in.
It's just a mutable check-in time, and I do think, to me, the feeling is like changing internally. It might not be time yet for the external presentation or the external validation. I think similar again, a fire sign, like a fire sign story in 2024 is maybe not the external, but an internal shift I think is possible. And that, like, that's where it's almost like, you know, doing the research for your thesis thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, maybe in a couple years we're going to get the thesis statement, but you are doing the research right now internally.
I feel like the mutables are having their, like, it's like when you read an artist bio and it's like, and those were the years they were weird in a house somewhere. And it's like, but those serve, it's because you're getting ready for something. And I think all the mutables are getting ready for insert whatever your something is, whether that's work stuff or family stuff or creative stuff. But it does, I think all the fires are going more inward in 2024. Maybe Aries might be stepping out with the North Node, but like, I still think that step out is because they've gone internal too.
The Saturn square, I think, you know, it's about 7 years. It's that like 7-year itch energy. And I think that the steps that you have to take feel smaller than they are. And so like, because you and me have just had like Saturn square suns too. And it's like, you know, doing a podcast every week, like it doesn't feel like a big thing. And then doing this and looking back, we're all like, oh my God, it's been 6 years and we haven't, you know what I mean? So
It's like, oh, we've been doing labor.
yeah.
Like,
So I think there are like a bunch of external things that you will be physically doing. They just won't feel like they are as big as they are, or they won't feel as external as they are.
yeah, I think the word feels like it's just like reshuffling, reprioritizing, and I think it's ultimately just so there's more flow, right? Because mutables need that space to have flexibility and, you know, just like not being, it's like so rigid. I think it's like checking in on where things have felt very rigid, which is so Saturny, right? It's like what has felt like punishment.
Yeah.
Let's release punishment.
Well, and it feels like, I think with that square, there is not the same, and again, it will depend on degree. Saturn won't be squaring your sun necessarily, Sages, if you are not at the early degrees. So obviously, you know, look to your chart specific, but, you know, speaking
by
energetically,
sign, yeah.
again, and I think, you know, if you know other people of the sign, you might be looking to them and going like, oh, what's happening for them as a preview for what will be for you. Anyways,
Yes.
I do think that it's like you gotta going through it, not around it, over it, joking, whatever. Again, it's like that, like it's the unavoidable stuff that we know is like coming for our ass, not and not in a bad way, but in that thing of like, yeah, in order to create more flow, in order to create more flexibility, it's all in service of that. But it is the doing, the day-to-day
Systems.
yeah.
Speaking of systems,
Oh my God.
Capricorn.
System of a down. Down ass bitch.
I
I think Caps are actually going to be a silent like winner this year. Maybe they're that every year. Maybe they're that every year.
But they're wrapping up the Pluto stuff.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do think
that's where they're
there
winning.
is. So I think
Yeah.
that's it. The silent win feels very
Yes.
like silent, like just that exhale. You know, like they say that you like when you're breathing, like the exhale is more important than the inhale. And I think it is, you know, you're letting it all out and being like, oh, I'm actually finally fully empty. And then it's like, that means there's room to, you know, take more air in and take more, well, especially Jupiter, Gemini, take more air in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. The exhale, I'm going to not sit this one out, but I think again a similar, because it's that like cardinal energy and thinking of it being like starting something new again, not maybe not as open as like, oh, I'm telling you the stuff that I've been working on, but starting the new going like, oh, okay, what is the next project? What's the next?
Or just like knowing where
Yeah.
you're useful, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
I think the cardinal nodal square to Capricorn is also going to be a good, this like cardinal push too of like, it's okay if, who cares what other people think? I think like it's, if we're still taking the steps to get to whatever the Capricorn goal is, and like, who gives a shit what anyone else is doing or what, like, or how they got there, like, and then there's always a list of like, this person didn't get famous till they were 96 years old. Like, I mean, maybe those are good and helpful, but I think like release the expectation and timeline, which is I think always the Caps journey, but this feels extra that because I think Caps are making strides.
Yes.
It just isn't like, that's why it's like the silent win. I think it's like you're on the way, but it's like we're not there yet, but you're making really great progress.
And I think it's also in that similar vein of like, you might be learning about more like yourself, how to take care of yourself. What are your needs? How can you support yourself? Again, similar to Taurus getting that like supportive aspect from Saturn, energetically speaking, that it is like going like, oh, we did just go through a lot. We can be gentle with ourselves. We can schedule in some rest time. We don't have to be like, oh, I care what this person thinks about me. I need to be achieving. I can be quiet for a little bit and do that, knowing that I will come back stronger, more powerful, more focused, and more in touch with my own like instrument than ever.
I think also just happiness. I think like Caps deserve, like, you've had Pluto in Cap. I mean, it's still going to be
Saturn before that. All of this stuff, like
it has been punishing, and I know you can handle it, and I know Pluto's going to move back into Cap eventually, but we're pretty much clear. Besides you, 29-degree Capricorns.
Those exhales, like you get those breath, and then it's like, it might come back. There might be I wasn't. Thank you. Well, we'll see if any of that comes true, because I wasn't speaking to the microphone. We'll have to edit it out.
I think Caps just deserve like good sex, good life. Like it makes me think of like, it's like when you get to that like that high position, you're like, oh, this is too much work. Like I actually wasn't making that much less or more, and I had less to do, and then I could do that. Like, it's just, I think finding flow this year is everybody's motto, and I think Cap has space to do it.
Yes. I spoke to a friend recently, just to tangent slightly because it will lead into our next sign, but who was talking about how they had been working at this business that they've been building. They've been working really hard to do it, and everyone keeps asking them, are you going to like start a next thing? Are you going to open a whatever?
Yeah,
and they
what's
were like,
next?
So they were like, no, not right now, at least, because now it's finally in a place where I don't have to be working as hard at it. I'm going to leave it be. It's finally doing the thing that I wanted it to do, which was like, make enough money to be paying me to go actually do the things like travel and take vacations and work shorter hours during the day and go like do hobbies or whatever.
Oh yes, so I'd love to like punish myself all over again. It's like, I just did it. You did it.
Where it's like, there is a time to take on more, and there is a time to punish, but life also will like punish us enough. Life is punishing. We don't need to add or look for it.
Maintain.
It will come. Yes. So there is, I think, one where it goes like, it can be a net neutral year almost, if that makes sense.
I think Capricorns, I think that's like a hot thing to say to Cap. It's like, it can just be neutral.
Yes. And that was an Aquarius friend of mine who said that.
Oh, because they're about to
get Pluto.
She's projecting that she's about to enter. It'll be fine.
But I also think that could be, again, that is like a mindset, and could be reflective of the Pluto in Aquarius kind of transformation that's coming for us, which is, again, as a fixed Pluto in a fixed sign, there is something to me about like, and so many people that I know that have strong Aquarius energy in their charts are like, no, I like it how this was by design. I don't need more. I don't need something else. There is something to that of going like, that
was the
Saturnian,
plan.
yes, of going like, no, it's meant to be minimal or
Yeah, it's like
this
how
much.
it's like if cults could just stop before the killing. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like I think that's maybe the future we could lead to. I'm
Yes.
joking. Cults are nothing to joke about, but seriously, they do seem kind of good until they get murdery.
There's always a good idea. That's how they get going. It's if there wasn't some idea that people liked about it.
Yeah.
I think Aquarians have a lot to look forward to with Pluto. I think that it is, of course, it's a lot. It sounds scary. It's 20 years. Like there's
You're right.
going to be so much great stuff that's going to happen to you. But especially if you're one of those early degree Aquarius suns, like you're born in the earliest part of the sign, you might just like get a lot of direction of like where you want to go, what you want to do, like where those doors are opening for you. And I think that the key with Pluto stuff is just like follow your smile, follow the things that make you feel fulfilled and happy. And that means sometimes cutting out stuff that sucks. And that's what's hard. It's not hard to do the things you like. Everybody wants to do that, but it is hard when you have to say like, well, I have to say no to happy hour because I like want to make it to a thing in the morning that's at 7 or whatever, you know, like you have to miss out on something that probably isn't that important to you to do the thing you really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just Aquarians are in a new era. So it's on us to keep up with them and where they're going. But, you know, they also just had Saturn. Everyone had like a preview of like the shit that came. So
And they love innovation. They love so again, it's like these are fitting things for you. It's not stuff that's blindsidey, you know, pulling the rug out from under. Like this stuff that's coming up is stuff that you like and want and know.
if any sign can handle it, I think Aquarians are going to like figure out how to use Pluto to their benefit.
Yeah.
For better and maybe for worse, but hopefully for better.
Yeah. I think where Saturn asks us to like, you know, restrict and keep hold of something, Pluto it gives you the opportunity to at least go like, you could also just get rid of this. You could also, you know, live in a van, go do whatever.
Down
you know
by
what I
the
mean?
river.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
an Aquarian right there for you.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Speaking of signs, the next one, Pisces.
Pisces. Saturn and I said it already. Saturn and Pisces time. Pisces are really getting illuminated this next. Saturn's in Pisces until 2026. I feel like with Saturn there, it's just asking Pisces. I feel like they're really going to get their recognition, their flowers, like their well-deserved awards, or you're going to get checked really hard. I think Saturn is just so, I'm basing this off of some celebrity things I've seen with Saturn and Pisces. I feel like it's either like the recognition, the memoirs, the recaps, like let's archive the work, let's show what we've been doing, or it's like, who are you? Like what have you been doing? Like, so I think Saturn is just, it's asking you who you are. I'm thinking of this very sun sign with Pisces, especially like sun, conscious, ego, who we're being. So I think if you haven't really I'm going in artist mode for Pisces, made an artist bio about yourself. What's your mission statement? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, a pretty picture is one thing, but like, what is it about? So I think Pisces are here to like maybe verbalize their story if they have been, you know, they're so known. I think we talk about Pisces a lot. Like, you don't have to speak it or write it. You could paint it or you could do this. Like, I think it is actually time to like claim it and speak it and know what you're saying. And if that's been uncomfortable, sorry, then do it. You're going to have to do it.
I think too, when we talk about doing things like that, it like rubs Pisces the wrong way, but it's like, you can still do it the creative way. You can still make the bio like have flowery language
wingdings.
or emoji, or like have a thing that's really fitting for a font that you really like, that's really fitting for your thing. But it has to be like, at the end of the day, the chores have to get done. So whether you walk around wearing those slippers that clean your floor for you or use a vacuum, like whichever way feels more creative to you, whatever way feels better. If it's like making your chore chart colorful so that, or like you get to color in a day on your calendar every day so that it's like pleasing to you, that's fine. You're still building structure. So appreciating the structure. It's like, to me, Saturn Pisces is the drums and music. It's like, it's awesome when we hear it. It's like, oh yeah, I hear this beat, whatever. But it's like, it's keeping time. It's telling everyone what note to play at what time. It's like the biggest like structure that we have for something that's intangible.
Yeah, I think it's like you're intangible, but people still need something tangible to like grab onto you. The phrase that came to mind for me for Pisces is like establishing yourself in ways where obviously Piscean energy isn't necessarily, it's, you know, misty and slippery and slithery in that like mutable water way, but also asking it to go like, yeah, no, what is consistent about you though? What are the things that are reliably there? What is the mission statement? What could someone else get about you? There are things that you do that are like establishing. And also I think if you have been already doing those things, feeling that like establishment, feeling that kind of confidence boosting, feeling that that you have like, I don't know, wisdom. I'm thinking of
It's
Saturn
like claiming
return
the
people
expertise.
too. Yes, where it's like finally it's the only thing that you are like missing your whole life, which is like time and experience and having things add up. So let stuff add up for you, that kind of thing. So it's like then you can go on to still be flexible and unpin downable, but you have this like body of work that you can stand on. There is stuff that you have to stand on that still lets you be free.
Yeah, I feel like it's like losing. It's like in resume stuff. It's like losing the like passive language of like I assisted. It's like no, I executed this, you know, thing, or I did this. I know Pisces can do the like I'm just a baby or like I'm just a little guy, and I think it is. I don't know. Yeah, it's like standing up tall. You know, just it's like a call to confidence as well. Just like claiming it. Dare I say?
Yeah. You can like this is stuff that you can trust. I feel like with Saturn.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
2024, huh?
What a year. What a year it's already been.
Exciting stuff for everyone. Big changes, big shifts. They're always, I mean, every year there is, but
every year there's some astrological to talk about. And yeah, it's been God, what a time. Also just thinking of like these 6 years, we've had like 3 not even 3. It's been insane the whole time in terms of like astrology and politics and life.
World
and we've all
events
gotten
and news,
married.
yeah.
Like, I don't like, it's just like we've grown up all together.
Thank you guys for listening and watching and supporting us in all of this. We are eternally grateful for everything. And again, we'll be back.
It's a see you later.
We're excited also to see, you know, we hope that you will be there. It's a risk. It's vulnerable to, you know, Saturn and Pisces kind of take a little space in that thing too. But we are hopeful that, you know, we still have a place in your life and we'll be missed and our return will be welcome. And we're also excited to see what new things emerge from, you know, taking a break, as we've mentioned with some of these signs too, you know, allowing for some creative expression, allowing for some new things to be born literally and figuratively, and seeing where that takes us. We love doing this. We love talking about astrology. We love talking to you guys and sharing this info with you. And so if there's anything that you would also like to see from us, or you know, we're hoping to absence makes the heart grow fonder, and you know, giving you some time to think about what it is that you want in a weekly astrology podcast, so to speak. You know, not taking directions necessarily, but I would love to hear
comment cards. Welcome.
Yeah. What are you missing from our absence? What are you hoping to get back? How can we come back more integrated and useful in your lives? And also, what do we bring? And
check all the links are always where they always are in the show notes. Our email's there. Or, you know, if you want to follow along us individually in our things, come on through and let us know. I think we always want to hear what you guys want, because we want to give you what you want.
For some signs we want to give you what you want. Other ones we want to withhold,
because we know you love it, you little freaks.
Yeah. And
my dog wants to say hi.
Deli,
come on.
Deli, come on.
Oh, big monster. Oh, what do you think? The people need to know. He claimed it. Well, we told you he's a Cancer. He has no excuse to really just have the best year ever. Well, we'll see you around. I mean, we'll see you around. We're not.
I know. I'm trying. I'm cap mooning and trying not to be sappy because I also feel like But I love you. I love you both.
I love you.
I love
It's an
you.
honor.
I'm so excited
It's an honor
for
and
you.
privilege
too.
to work together and to have you guys in my
I know.
life.
He
wants to
I know.
join in.
And what a privilege for you guys to watch and listen to us.
Bear witness to this, bitch.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's been and when lucky for us, we have a group chat, so we'll be fine. I don't know, y'all are screwed for a short period of time, but no, it's just always. I mean, I just love being able to speak astrology with you guys, and that you people who are listening also like to speak it with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in this far. Keep an eye on this space for what's to come next. And happy New Year. We'll
Have
see
the
you.
best life ever.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.